at the intersection of technology, leadership, and human awareness. In today's episode, I'm joined by Manuj, entrepreneur, AI expert, investor, and global technology strategist, helping individuals and organizations harness artificial intelligence to unlock human potential. In this conversation, we explore how AI is evolving beyond automation and productivity to become a tool for personal growth, decision making, and understanding ourselves on a deeper level. We talk about purpose, intuition, neuroscience, emotional intelligence, and how AI could help people gain greater clarity, reduce mental noise, and navigate an increasingly uncertain future. We also discuss the future of work, AI adoption, career resilience, and why developing our human capabilities may become just as important as advancing the technology itself. So let's dive in. Thank you for being on the show, Manuj. I like to start off with a bit of your personal history first, just to kick off the show.
Sure. Yeah, I grew up in a small town in India, in northern India, and I had a little bit of a troubled childhood or young adulthood. I dropped out of college in first 3 months, and then I was sort of like trying to figure out what to do with my life, and found my way into computers and software. And so that was the time when I said, okay, I was quite a bit of an introvert back then. So I found it easy to talk to machines rather than talk to humans. So, that was one added bonus, but I really wanted to, like, I enjoyed the process of building software and then helping people using the technology.
Mm. And you've gone from earning, say, $2 a day to working with Fortune 500 companies. What were the key turning points that actually changed your trajectory?
That's very interesting. I mean, you know, certainly I will say going to going to the computer institute where I learned computers. That was the
Mm-hmm.
very first one, right? Then coming to my professional life, I would say like being at the right time at the right place, because when I entered the industry, it was the dot-com boom time,
Oh,
right?
so
So
good. Yeah.
so a lot of tech industry was coming up, even though there was like a crash around year 2000 for dot com. We call it dot com bust, but
Mm-hmm.
still the technology industry was kind of booming at that time, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
And so as you mentioned that it was more mainly placing yourself at the right time, were there any other, like, was it more about like mindset and you've got the skill set as well, or the environment that you place yourself in to become the person that you are today?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a combination of all that, right? Mindset is needed by always kind of trying to do more, because a lot of people settle in their life once they find something that sort of make them feel secure. But if
Mm,
you want to continue to excel, then you want to continue to make yourself uncomfortable, and that's not easy for people. And so
mm-hmm,
that requires that mindset. And then, of
mm-hmm.
course, you notice what kind of environments are conducive for that growth. So obviously, you know, I had like weird dream even when I was in India studying computers. I remember it was kind of difficult to even pay for the fee for the computer course, but I dreamed like one day I'm going to work for Microsoft. And then
That's
uh,
amazing. Wow.
so slowly, like, in
Mm,
2005, I got a chance to work with Microsoft. And
wow.
uh, that was a big journey. Like, it was so just having those dreams and sort of seeing how you can make little bit progress towards those every day, that'll be helpful for people.
Mm, I mean, I can really relate to that. But then, there are some people that they don't have clarity on like the direction
Mm.
on where they want to go.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
personally, like, I mean, I grew up in Burma. And I
Oh, okay.
remember even when I was younger, like, I've always like, I'm not going to be here. I just knew it. I don't know what it is. I just knew it. I knew that
Mm,
I'm not supposed to be there. I knew I was supposed to be someone or something. I still, yeah, I couldn't figure it out how, but it was just a knowing.
Yeah. So that brings up an interesting point because the work that we do, you're absolutely right, first of all, that people don't know which direction they want to go in. And then they start to adopt somebody else's direction. And then
Mm,
they have regrets, they have anxieties. It's because of that. So finding your direction, finding your purpose is very, very, very important. And that brings to the point, to a point where uh, that's the work that we do. We actually create artificial intelligence systems that help people find their purpose and
mm,
kind of live the way that they're supposed to live, or um, whatever their purpose is, whatever their direction is, how they will make the right decisions to follow that path, how do they will transform themselves to be able to follow
mm-hmm.
that path. So that's the work that we do actually.
Could you explain a little bit more about the work that you do so the listener can understand how do we use AI to like it's like you're combining AI with the mindset or the emotional intelligence or the you can't even see your consciousness.
Correct,
Yeah,
correct, correct, correct.
yeah.
Exactly. So, to go get a little bit geeky on this, if people are interested in neuroscience and whatnot, or even psychology, the
Mm-hmm.
idea is that human mind is made up of two aspects: logical mind, where you make decisions, and your subconscious mind, where you feel the emotions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, logical mind is, we generally tend to think that human beings are logical, but we are not. We are actually very emotional.
Mm.
So, only 10% of our lives is a result of the logical decisions. 90% is a result of our subconscious mind. So what we have done is found ways to capture both the logical side and your subconscious side as part of an intelligence, which then helps you ask very deep questions about yourself and then really um, align your actions
Mm-hmm.
towards towards your true purpose, towards your true identity.
Mm, I love that. Just to like get into the subconscious mind element of it, most of the time, right? Like what people would do is through just to reprogram is just through repetitions or sometimes it's through hypnotherapy to put your mind on that state. So with AI, how was it through wearable device or how do we integrate that?
Hmm.
Like how can we
So
track it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. See, a wearable device is going to measure your physiological symptoms. So what we do is, if you close your eyes and if I ask you to remember like a happy day, maybe in the past, like when you were a kid, or your
Mm,
10th birthday, whatever. So if you think about it, like if you close your eyes, if you remember that scene for a second,
mm-hmm.
close your
Yeah.
eyes and
Yeah.
remember that scene. What do you see there? Like, do you see any details? What you're wearing, what you're eating?
Um, I I can't see it, but I just remember just being playful in nature.
Yeah, good. See, there you go. Now, if I ask you, what did you eat last Friday at lunch? Do you remember?
So remember, yeah,
So this is
specifically, yeah.
So this is how your subconscious mind is acting, because it remembers events from way past. And then when we capture these things, uh, we don't use the modalities of hypnotherapy or any other modality, because that's an external modality. In this case,
Mm,
we are capturing your thoughts,
mm-hmm.
and it becomes kind of reflection of your mind, your own mind.
Mm. And also though, I like that the question that you ask is, sometimes what did you eat? like last. So that's more like things that is like redundant, right? Like eating things or whatever. But then do you remember what were you doing? That was more like, I don't know, feeling kind of involved to it?
Exactly, exactly. See, you're hitting the nail on the head because humans are designed to remember emotions, not numbers, logic,
Mm,
facts.
mm,
Okay, so that's why when we eat something, there is, of course, in the moment we are connected to our food, but after that, it's like it's a random fact. We forget about
mm,
it. There is no
mm,
emotion unless unless it was a special occasion or a birthday
mm,
party. So the emotion attached to that event is what we remember, and that's how we make our decisions. So unless and until we capture those in our AI, it's only a logical technology. But once we add that element, now it becomes your true identity. Make sense?
mm. And as you mentioned, you've been in this AI space for a long time.
Hmm.
How has your perspective evolved compared to what we're seeing now today?
I mean, the pace of innovation is increasing so rapidly. I could not have imagined that. I did not imagine, or nobody imagined in the industry, that we will be here in 2026, because these systems are getting very, very, very intelligent. And
Mm-hmm.
I think in 5 years or so, like, we will have more robots in this world than humans.
Wow. And that's more like, is it the terms, that's one AI singularity that might
Yes, yeah,
happen,
yeah, yeah,
right? Like,
exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah.
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 And how do you differentiate between what AI was before versus what people are
Hmm.
experiencing today?
See, AI before was very specialized algorithm for a specific task. So AI will be able to kind of like predict the weather. AI will be able
Mm,
to find diseases, or AI will be able to analyze X-rays and find, disease. So each algorithm was very specifically designed for one purpose. But now with platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini and all that, it has become a general purpose AI where you can ask anything, um, even if you are like doing fifth grade homework to like PhD level research, or you know anything in between. So that is the difference now.
mm. And and it's like, changing, like, there's like agentic AI as well, and it's
Mhm.
going on like it's just everything is shifting so fast. So a lot of the
Mhm.
people are currently feeling uncertain about their job. There's a lot of like job cuts on like biggest corporations. So how should people think about this shift without going into fear?
See, fear is, it's not easy to avoid fear. So I will acknowledge that people are afraid because they don't know what this technology is. So
Mm,
my advice is not to be afraid and sit on the sidelines,
mm,
rather jump in and learn and use it, so that so that you are at least informed on how you need to uh, handle your life, your profession. If you're sitting on the sidelines, you don't even like you won't even know what happened.
mm. So basically, if someone wants to future-proof their career, or like even just to feel secure in the next, say, 5 to 10 years, what should they actually focus on?
First and foremost, imagine that, uh, think, where are you spending your mental energy? Uh, everybody has so many anxieties and stress and all that. So
Mm,
think, what is taking most of your energy? Is it operations? Is it sales? Is it marketing? I mean, I'm talking in business terms, right? Or
mm-hmm.
in personal terms, is it your health? Is it your money situation? Is it your relationships? What is taking most of your energy?
Mm.
And then utilize this technology to kind of help you navigate those aspects, so that you can start to kind of feel some relief in your mental capacity to make the right decisions, and so on and so forth. I will start there. Or if you are more kind of oriented towards doing like tasks or numbers or anything like
Mm.
that, then I will say think about where you are spending 80% of your time, and then
Mm.
see if you can start to automate some of that. Like, is it writing a lot of emails? Is it managing a lot of spreadsheets? Is it doing a lot of paperwork? Like, whatever that is, think about reducing your load and offloading it to AI. So a few examples, like, I was working with a resort company in Spain, and so they
Mm-hmm.
had in their regular sort of day-to-day business, they receive a lot of inquiries for guests, parties, retreats, and things of that nature. And so they have to like review it, answer it, create proposals. So out of 50 inquiries they used to get, they used to spend like 2 or 3 hours responding to each inquiry every week.
Mm.
And
Mm.
now it was kind of reduced to 5 minutes
Oh wow. Mm.
per inquiry, right? So now they are
Mm.
able to like process more interest from customers, and their staff is happier. Like they're not like stressed out, and customers are happy because they get the responses faster and more accurate.
Mm. And in this world where things are quite shifting, what skills or ways of thinking will matter?
Hmm. Skills, I will say, you know, um, communication skills will be key.
Mm.
Pattern matching, because what is going to happen? So our society is right now based on specialized skills. So people have like deep skills in specific area.
Mm.
But moving forward, generalists, meaning people who have more different skills but may not be as deep,
Aha, gotcha.
will be better because they will be able to recognize more patterns across multiple domains and multiple fields.
Mm. And there's a lot of also talk about creating massive wealth through AI. So do you believe like, AI can actually make people rich, or is it just a hype?
No, 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 absolutely it will, because see, think of any kind of shift in civilization. It happened when we found a new resource. So, from hunter gatherers, we found agriculture, and then whoever became a good agriculturalist became rich.
Mm.
Then came writing. So, that was a new resource discovered, and whoever figured out how to write. I mean, think about it. Like up until even probably like 1700s or 1800s, people who could read and write, they were at the top of society. They were the ministers.
That's
They were the
that's
you
right.
know
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but because the only handful of population was actually literate, right?
Mm.
And then
Mm.
oil was found. Like you can see, like at every moment when something new was found, whoever got into it earlier, they were benefited,
Mm.
right? So think about the richest people today on this planet: Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. They got into the tech industry around the year 2000, when the internet
Mm.
was coming up, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So AI is basically another new resource. So if we can tap into that and start to monetize it, start to do something with it, of course you have a much better chance of making wealth rapidly.
Mm. So basically, it's just about being an early adopters,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And as it's become more capable, do you think that also the advantage that we will also have is just trying to hone into our emotional intelligence so that
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of people are going to look at that. Only handful of people are looking at it. Only a handful of people are doing something about it. And I'm one of the few who has a solution already. Um, but I think, unfortunately, the way things are going, there will be a reverse trend. People will be quite become a little bit anxious because this
ooh,
unchecked AI. is creating a mindset in people that is not good for them. Like it's actually uh, so agreeable that it is reinforcing your negative belief systems.
Uh-huh. So that's why it's like, sometimes you speak into even Claude or like ChatGPT, things like, hey, I have these particular feelings or this is what's happening, but then it just reinforces and it's like
Yeah,
a bias towards
yeah,
your
yeah,
own
yeah.
way of thinking.
Exactly, exactly.
And
Yeah.
also, with all the technologies evolving like really rapidly, how do we also um, give us a times or hone into intuitions, right? Say, yeah, like, with technology, there's a lot of the things that we can actually prove. But when it comes to things like intuition or that knowing, how do we prove that? You know?
See, there is an interesting phenomena that we always want proof of something, right? Now, the thing is, the person who is already intuitive, they are able to listen to their intuition. They will not say, "I want the proof." The only people who will ask for proof is who are not in tune with their intuition.
Mm,
Now, the thing is, in my work, what I have found is everybody has an intuition, but it gets drowned out in the noise. So if we can find a way to kind of like quieten the noise, then we can listen to that intuition, and that is the biggest proof. Um, Before this, the only methods to quiet your noise was like meditation and yoga and those type of practices that used to take
mm-hmm,
long, quite long, and consistency. But now with AI, it can be done fairly quickly. Like maybe within 3 4 weeks, you can attain a state where you can start to listen to your intuition really, really clearly.
mm.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to understand how.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know?
See, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the most interesting point, right? Everybody asks how. The problem is that if we start to go into the explanation of neuroscience, people will start to go to sleep, right? The way that it works is I'll just like, give you certain statistics so that you can understand.
Yep, yep.
A human adult thinks about 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and 80 to 90% of those thoughts are negative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Wow.
so that means most of them are given to us by the outside environment, and that is what is taking most of our energy. When we create the technology that we are talking about, we call it AI merge. So it's almost like you are talking to yourself at a deep in a deep way. It starts to cancel out that noise, 80 to 90% of negative thoughts, and it sort of vacuums up your thought patterns, and you can start to listen to your intuition clearly. Does that make sense?
So basically, it's like you have, things like there's ChatGPT or Claude that you speak to it. So basically, it's like you develop this
Yeah, yeah,
technology where
yeah,
they
yeah.
can use it as their coach or personal
Correct.
assistant, or it's
Sure,
yeah.
sure. So think of it as a filter. So what the way that it works is OpenAI gives you ChatGPT, and I call OpenAI's ChatGPT as crude AI, crude oil.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a filter that filters it and turns it into um, like diesel or gasoline or high energy fuels.
Mm. And
Make sense?
yeah, yeah. And if say people wants to work with you, and how can they find out about this, like the information about this?
Yeah, just go to aimerge.live, aimerge.live, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
small exercise. It's basically trying to demonstrate to you how it can help you make some right decisions, or find something about you that you didn't know, and you will get to feel a little bit about this. And then if people want to go deeper, then they can get in touch with us. But that's
Mm.
a free preview that people can try out anytime.
Mm, mm. And what do you think that holds most people back from, success or wherever that they're meant to be? Is it more the mindset, and that's why you're trying to focus on the mindset shift first before they get to the next level?
Mindset and mindset is part of it, but the root of everything is your nervous system state.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll explain it this way. If you want success means you will have more energy to hold in your life, meaning more money, more responsibility, more people asking for your attention, more problems to solve. Is your nervous system ready to hold that much more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so success depends directly on your the capacity of your nervous system to hold that success. And if you want to rapidly gain success, it's about taking care of your nervous system, and that's what holds people back. Mindset is another, because the mindset with negative beliefs or limiting beliefs will not let you see the possibilities. Just like you mentioned earlier, you were in Burma, but you had this intuition that you will not stay in Burma.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow you listen to your intuition, and you your
Found a
life
way.
took you to your destination, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the idea. Like if people can listen to that, then they can find a way.
So it's like nervous system, or sometimes some people or some woo-woo people will refer that as frequency, right? Or
You
is it
can
more
call
like,
it, yeah, frequency. Yeah, you can call it, yeah, frequency. You can call it, because nervous system interacts with the physical world, and it has energy exchange, right?
uh-huh.
We are all basically energy, right?
Yeah, yeah. So if
Mhm.
we're not operating or vibrating on that particular frequency, so there's no way that we'll be able to attract that, because it's like you're tuning into a different radio, so you won't be able to hear
Mhm.
it.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. And also how, like, especially like for someone, like for people or for listeners who are very driven or quite driven people, and they always have this feeling of not never enough. It's just about, like,
Mm.
say, so they might have these picture for them in the future, but then if the current state doesn't match up to that, and there's obviously a cognitive dissonance that will happen because you're not living there. So, do you have any tips on people who are going through that state to get to their goalposts?
Yeah. So what happens is, these things where never anything is enough, it's a symptom planted in us as a child,
Ah.
where we felt not taken care of, or we didn't get something. Let's say, on my fifth birthday, I wanted like a video game, I didn't get it. Then that child will remember, oh, there is never enough. Like I should make more, just in case I run out, you know
Mm, mm,
or to fill a void in my. So there could be multiple millions of reasons. I'm just giving you an example, that it's a symptom of something that happened previously, so we can sort of backtrack and say what happened, what was the wound that you carried, which is creating this anxiety about the future, which is why you are feeling that never anything is enough, like I want more and more and more.
mm. So, like, from your experience,
Mhm.
what patterns do you see in people who grow versus those who stay stuck?
I think pain is like, if you have pain in life, it actually forces you to change.
Yeah.
But if you have comfort in your life, then you don't want to let go of that comfort, and people tend to shy away from growth because growth is not comfortable.
Mm.
Mm.
And I just also feel, though, there are some people that that they don't like the comfort zone though. Like, I mean, I can personally like relate to myself, right? Like, so if, say, if I'm stagnant or if I'm comfortable, and then I just get bored. I'm like, oh, well,
Mm,
something has to change because
mm.
it's like after that, what's next? You
Yeah,
also
yeah.
want to get to the next level.
See, it's interesting that you say that. Not a lot of people are like that.
Oh, really?
Not a lot. Yeah, most people want. I think they have a certain limit up to which they want to go, and once they reach that, then they just want to coast. Then they don't want to lose that position.
Because I thought that, like, I don't know, of course, like, I haven't, like, interviewed a lot of the people and asked about it. Hey, do you feel, the same? And for me personally, from my own experience, it's just more like, I thought human being needs to grow. If they're not growing, then they will be depressed.
That's why we have a lot of depression in the world,
Um,
right?
yeah, so basically on that note, what's one behavior or mindset that consistently holds people back apart from, comfort?
I think it goes back to our previous conversation about purpose. If their purpose is not clear, then they lose the drive. If their purpose
Mm,
if their purpose is clear, then no matter what happens, they continue to kind of move forward, move forward, move forward. Yeah,
mm. And, apart from, say, people, the term purpose is like a lot of the people just overcomplicate it, right? Like they send people, oh, what's my life? Purpose in life. And there's some people that they have big purpose or they have this mission or their North Star. But there are some people that they actually don't. So do you believe that everyone has a North Star that they just not aware of?
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, and it changes. The interesting thing is North Star changes. North Star is we say it never changes the position, the star itself, because it's too far. But
Mm,
for a person, the North Star changes as the life changes because, you know, life could be one way today. You could have divorce tomorrow, or you could move to another country. As you do that, your purpose starts to shift as well. So it should be okay to be flexible on your
mm,
purpose, but as long as you know exactly what it is. So you could do like a quarterly check-in on what my purpose is, or even yearly or what have you. Some people's purpose is set for life. They're like, okay, this is exactly what i'm
mm,
i'm going to do. But
mm,
in some cases it could be, I had my kids. Oh, my purpose has shifted now because now, you know life is different, or
mm,
so
mm,
on and so forth, right?
mm. And with everything that you've built, how has your definition of success changed?
I think it's definitely about how many people you can impact rather than
Mm,
number of dollars. Yeah.
mm. And
Mm.
what keeps you grounded now? Like, do you have any, daily rituals or anything that you do to stay grounded and stay present?
Yeah, I mean, spending time in nature. I do yoga and meditation every day. And then we are doing something really high tech. We are working on a combination of visual aids, vibroacoustic vibrations, and the work that I'm doing with AI, mixing it together. So neuroscience, psychology, AI, vibroacoustics, multiple science technologies to bring it together to kind of like optimize the nervous system health. So that's
Mm,
another practice that we do, that I do personally.
mm. And how can people connect with you or learn more about your work?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is either LinkedIn or my personal website, manojaggarwal.com, and let me know you heard me on this podcast and how can I help.
Mm. And before we wrap up the show, what's one truth about you that you stand by?
Truth about me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, life is as it is, like, it is what it is. So you just got to go with the flow.
I love that.